Let us start with chapter 3. So, chapter 3 is about telecommunication networks. So, as I already told you, why do we require networks? Networks are required to transmit data from one place to another place, or I can call it as from one point to another point. Simple, okay? So, if at all you take WhatsApp, so what exactly WhatsApp is doing? Why do we require WhatsApp? WhatsApp is required for the purpose of transmitting the data from one place to another place, okay? Like let us say if I want to send a message hi, so to my friend, okay, I just type hi, okay, and I say send. What exactly is happening? Okay, the message will be received by the receiver, but who is transmitting this particular data? The data is transmitted through telecommunication networks, okay. So, what do you mean by telecommunication networks? Telecommunication networks is nothing but through these particular networks, we can transmit the data from one point to another point. So, this is a basic thing which you have to understand. Telecommunication networks are required for the purpose of transmitting the data from one point to another point, okay. Now, let us study the basic components of telecommunication network. So, what are the basic components we require in a telecommunication network? So, we require 5 basic components. First one, we require a sender. Second, we require a receiver. Third one, we require a medium. Fourth, we require a message. And fifth component, which is a very important component called as protocol, okay. So, these are the 5 components we require for any telecommunication network, okay. So, what is the first component? Sender. What is the second component? Receiver. What is the third component? Medium. What is the fourth component? Message. What is the fifth component? Protocol, okay. Now, what do you mean by sender? Sender is nothing but a device which transmits a message is called as a sender. So, what do you mean by sender? Sender is nothing but a device which transmits a message is called as a sender. Now, can I call cell phone as a sender? Yes, cell phone is a sender because through which we can transmit a message. Now, what do you mean by receiver? Receiver is nothing but a device which receives a message is called as a receiver, okay. Now, can I call a cell phone as a receiver? Yes, a cell phone receives a message, I can call that particular device as a receiver. Whether I can call a computer as a receiver? Yes, computer is also called as a receiver. Now, whether can I call a normal television as a receiver? Yes, okay, a television can also be a receiver, but whether this particular television can be a sender? No, a normal television cannot be called as a sender. So, what do you mean by sender? Sender is nothing but a device which transmits a message is called as a sender. What do you mean by receiver? A receiver is nothing but a device which receives a message is called as a receiver. Now, what do you mean by medium? Medium is nothing but through which the data will be transmitted from one point to another point. I can call it as a telecommunication network. Now, this particular medium is divided into 2 types, okay, wireless medium, wired medium, etc. that will be covering. Now, what do you mean by message? Message is nothing but the data which you would like to transmit, okay, that is called as message. So, what is the first component? Sender. What is the second component? Receiver. What is the third component? Medium. What is the fourth component? Message. The data which you want to transmit from one point to another point. And last but very important concept is called as a protocol. So, what do you mean by protocol? Protocol is nothing but it consists of set of rules. It consists of set of rules, okay, that is called as a protocol. So, what is a protocol if I am in a class, okay? What is the common protocol between a student and a faculty? A common protocol is I have to talk in a language where a student understands. If I talk in Chinese or French or Japanese, can a student understand? No, a student cannot understand. So what is the protocol or a common set of rules, okay, which we have, okay? In a classroom, we have a common set of rules that a particular faculty has to speak in a language where the student understands. That's a protocol. So these are the 5 components which we require for any telecommunication network. So what are the 5 components? There should be a sender, there should be a receiver, there should be a medium through which the data will be transmitted, there should be a message, okay, the actual data which you want to transmit, and last one is called as a protocol, okay. Now after this, let us understand what do you mean by telecommunication network, a normal definition. Now what do you mean by telecommunication network? A telecommunication network is nothing but a combination, it's nothing but a combination of set of computers and terminal devices. So what do you mean by telecommunication network? It is nothing but it's a combination of set of computers and terminal devices. Now what do you mean by set of computers? These set of computers are further classified into, I can classify them as 3 categories. First one is called as a small or a smaller network. Second one is called as a medium network. And third one is called as a very large network. Okay. So what do you mean by a smaller network? If I connect like 0 to 1000 computers, I can call it as a smaller network. What do you mean by medium network? If I connect more than 1000 computers but less than 5000, okay, it is called as a medium network. What do you mean by large network? Anything which I connect more than 5000, I can call it as a large network. Now tell me, can I call internet as a smaller network? No. What do you mean by internet? Internet is nothing but where I can connect millions and millions of computers. So in which category it will be classified? It will be classified into a larger network. So what do you mean by terminal device? A terminal device is nothing but a starting or ending point, of telecommunication network, okay. So what is the definition of a terminal device? Simple. It's either a starting or an ending point of a telecommunication network, that is called as a terminal device. For example, let me draw a small diagram. Like let us say this is a telecommunication network. Let us assume this as a telecommunication network, and let us say we have a point A. Let us assume this is point A and this is telecommunication network. Let us say to the other point we have connected printer, okay. So can I call point A as a terminal? Yes, because it is the starting point, okay. Why it is called as a starting point? Because always the data moves from computer to printer but not vice versa. So I can call this particular point as a starting point. Now, okay, if you see this particular printer, can I call it as an endpoint? Yes, okay, it is called as endpoint. So what do you mean by terminal? Terminal is nothing but either a starting point of a telecommunication network or it is an ending point of a telecommunication network. Now if you see this particular terminal device, these terminal devices are classified into 2 types. First one is called as an intelligent terminal. Second one is called as dumb terminal. So what do you mean by intelligent terminal? A device which consists of a processor is called as an intelligent terminal. As we have already discussed in introduction to computers, what do you mean by processor? Processor is nothing but an hardware which is required for the purpose of executing an instruction. So what do you mean by intelligent terminal? A device which consists of a processor. Device which consists of a processor is called as an intelligent terminal. So what do you mean by dumb terminal? A device which does not have a processor is called as a dumb terminal. Okay. So if you take the same network, okay. Now if you see this particular point A is nothing but a desktop, okay. Whether it consists of a processor? Yes, okay, it consists of a processor. Now which type of terminal it is? It is nothing but an intelligent terminal. If you take a printer, whether a printer consists of a processor? No, it does not consist of a processor, no processor, okay. So which category of terminal it is? It is nothing but a dumb terminal. So this is about the definition of telecommunication network. So what do you mean by telecommunication network? It's nothing but it's a combination of set of computers and terminal devices, and these set of computers are further classified into small, medium and large. And what do you mean by terminal device? Terminal device is nothing but it is a starting or an ending point of a telecommunication network. And how many types of terminal devices we have? We have two types. First one is called as an intelligent terminal, second is called as a dumb terminal. What do you mean by intelligent terminal? Simple, a device which consists of a processor is called as an intelligent terminal. Now what do you mean by dumb terminal? A dumb terminal is nothing but a device which does not have a processor is called as a dumb terminal. So this is about, okay, the topics, okay, what do you mean by telecommunication network, what are the components of telecommunication network, and what is the definition of a telecommunication network, okay. Now let us go to the next topic, need and scope of telecommunication network.